yesterday was tough.
Oh, really? What happened?
I had to fire the troll down at the bridge that asked the riddles.
Yeah.
I told him he was fired. Well, I didn't tell him he was fired. I sort of asked it in more of a riddle sense. I said, "Guess who's fired?"
Oh, to have a little bit of fun with him.
Yeah, I thought maybe just one last riddle, just one last ride for him. He's still down there guessing it. So I think he's going to be there for a while. Thought I'd give him his 2 weeks. Anyway, welcome back to the Wizard's Tower.
Welcome back to the Wizard's Tower.
The Wizard's Tower!
So I've been on a mission the last, I would say month, trying to get a camera with night vision.
Oh, yeah.
Because night vision's awesome. And for some reason, cameras these days just don't have night vision inbuilt into it. So I ended up finding this guy on Facebook Marketplace. He had like this cool kind of like 2019 Handycam Sony for selling it for $500 bucks. And they usually retail for like $950.
Damn,
and
that's
I'd
really
done
good.
some research and I was like, this camera has night vision as far as I'm aware. So I go there, I get some cash out, I buy the camera off this guy, and then I get home and I realize after playing with it for an hour, it doesn't have night vision. I was devastated. I end up putting the camera up for $550, make an extra $50 back on the camera. So I was like, it's kind of a win. But I ended up buying this camera from 2007, I think it was.
Yeah.
This old Sony camera that was kind of in between cassette tapes and in between SD cards. It doesn't have an SD card slot. You can't use tape with it. It has a physical hard drive in it.
Like inbuilt memory. But then didn't you have to get like a dock or something to get it off?
Yeah. So it had this, so it has like an inbuilt hard drive, like an actual disc one. So if you drop it,
Oh, true.
it might,
Some
you know,
moving
everything's
parts in
gone. Yeah. You go to like access the, you know, the memory of it and it's like,
True.
yeah, it's pretty risky, but
Damn.
the camera's pretty cool. It's got night vision, which is sick.
Yeah.
And the only way to get the information off of it is to buy
It's this fucking dock.
a dock,
Yeah.
which didn't come with the camera. I didn't know that. Sony just does this fucking... It seems like they've always been doing this, just having like
An extra piece.
proprietary bullshit to make things work. You know, like my new camera, my FX6, which is like a cinema camera, it advertises that it has like 4 different types of audio output. Like you can have 4 different microphones equipped at once. That's not true. They only have 2 physical ports, and then the other 2 you have to buy Sony's proprietary equipment to access the other 2.
It's like you get like a base model of it, but then if you want all the other bits and pieces, you gotta.
Yeah. It's like, I know you just spent $10,000 on a cinema camera, and I know you want those extra 2 slots of audio. So anyway, it's going to be another $2,000 to buy our Sony equipment to do that. But so I finally got this dock. I fucking put the camera on the dock. I'm like, yes, finally. The dock was, I bought this camera for $200 off eBay. The dock was $100.
Yeah.
Half the price of the camera. Finally do it, dock it up, load it up, try and get some of the footage we recorded off of it. And I find out that there is like 90 something clips on this camera from the previous owners of the camera.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like we went through it, not like we didn't go in depth and watch every single video, but we kind of skimmed and perused around.
Because I reckon it'd be fun to give it back to them, like give that footage back to them.
It would be, yeah.
I reckon that'd be really fun, like a cool video. But when we were going through it, there were like an African American family that we eventually found out were from Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were like, how did this camera, you know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy trip for this camera to make. I don't know.
I couldn't believe, because I thought, I don't know, I thought that I'd like accidentally recorded something. I was like, this isn't my footage.
Yeah,
and I was like, wait a second. This
It was
isn't my footage.
It was so hilarious watching it too. Like just like skimming through it. We like saw this one kid at the start of this footage. He was like 15, and then he like graduated high school at the end of it. And it was like this whole family like got around. It was very wholesome. Like just skimming through it, like it was so wholesome.
Absolutely. What we like learnt most of like the people's names.
Yeah.
We kind of like saw the trials and tribulations because it was
really
owned
nice.
by this like the grandma of this family kind of thing, and she was like filming and documenting the kids and the grandkids as they grew up. And she would always introduce them, which was sick.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we could figure out who was who. It's like, oh yeah, this is Deontay. He's fucking just like graduated like year 6. And
It
you're
was
like,
really
oh,
cool.
yes, okay, Deontay, like, let's go, man.
But then like halfway, like we're skimming through, and then like the start of one clip, like, yeah, this is our new house. It's here, and they literally just say the address, and we were just like, holy fuck.
It was held by like the 8-year-old
Yeah,
granddaughter,
yeah.
and she just reads
She's
out
like,
the
we
numbers.
live here at blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, we know exactly where you guys live,
Yeah,
and we
she's
could
like,
get this footage back to you.
2379.
I'd definitely go to Dallas,
Bluetail
Texas
Lane.
to drop this footage off to them. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I couldn't because we were like talking about giving it back to them. And I was like, I wouldn't even know where to start with where they live. And then
then
she
you just
literally just says the address and films the front of the house.
Yeah.
And
We worked out what high school they went to, like just from like their graduation. I reckon we should give it back to them. I'll definitely go to Dallas, Texas. That'd be sick.
I reckon it could be worth it, honestly. It could be hilarious, or it could be really creepy, and they'd be like,
What the
"You
fuck?
didn't go through that camera, did you?"
No.
No, we wouldn't. No, that's just
We went through it with the intent of finding out who they were, where they live.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was kind of like really wholesome.
It was really wholesome.
Especially one of the kids, he was kind of like quiet and reserved the whole way through. It was like watching a movie as well, because we're so used to American traditional media. Everyone's
really true.
speaking in American accents.
Yeah, it felt like found footage. I thought that it almost felt like a little bit of a horror found footage, but it wasn't. It was just like a really wholesome like found footage movie.
Yeah. It started out, they like lived in this like pretty small house with like, there was like 5 or 6 people living
it was
in
like
this
the
small
grandma,
house.
the dad, and then like 3 boys,
Yeah.
three sons, and then
And then like we watched them grow up, and there was like one point where like one of the kids was in trouble. And it was really funny, and he'd like run away from home at one point. It was drama.
yeah.
And then, and then we're like watching it, and this one kid's like really quiet and reserved. And then we watch towards the end of the footage, he's like so outgoing. He's like dressing really well.
He was like real short, and like when he was 15, he was like 6'7".
Yeah.
Like fucking jacked.
It was crazy. He's like, he's looking good at the end of it. And then like,
He had so much energy about him.
yeah. And then the last clip of the camera is like this family Christmas, and there's like 20 people there, and they're all exchanging presents, and they're in this big, like kind of like nice house. And it was just this like really wholesome like full circle being like, oh, they're going to be all right.
They're gonna live.
They're going to be
they're
all right.
doing well.
There was like a funeral in the middle of it,
Yeah.
which was just crazy.
It was pretty crazy. Grandma was like recording this funeral, and like someone obviously come out crying. She just like zooms into their face, like, yeah, everyone's really sad. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
whipping out the camcorder to film like Nana just eyes bowling. Like, I don't know if you really want that.
And it's so you could just tell that she gets that camera out all the time,
Oh,
because
yeah,
every
loves
time
it.
she would get
Loves
it
it.
out, people were just like,
Here we go.
put it away,
Yeah,
Grandma.
I have to
What are you
introduce myself
doing?
again. But like it was like out of the 90 clips, we probably watched like we skimmed through all 90, but like we stopped when we thought we saw like something somewhat interesting, like main events, like a lot of
Yeah.
birthdays.
Red velvet cake.
Red
every
velvet, they
year.
love a red velvet cake over there.
There was like 6 clips in a row, which was like, all right, it's this person's birthday.
Yeah.
All right. And you're like,
is that
the same cake? What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really funny. It's cute.
It was
nice.
wholesome.
Yeah,
It was
it was
really
wholesome.
wholesome.
Yeah, but I reckon we should get it back to them. I wonder if they probably got the footage. I don't know. Actually,
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of memories on there.
Even we just send it to them somehow.
I don't know. It was just wholesome as well to see that like throughout whatever it was, like 5 or 6 years that was recorded, everyone was like still there, like family members wise, like they obviously have like a very tight knit
That's very
family,
true.
and it was like good to see like in that last clip, like everyone was gathered together again. I'm like, oh, I saw that guy in clip number
look how-
305.
yeah.
Oh, he was in number 276. Like, and they all come together at the end. It was really wholesome.
That
it was
was
nice.
really awesome. Yeah.
And then the next clip, we get to the end of like the family, you know, like they were gathered around like Christmas, and you're like, oh, this is so cute. And then the next clip is me filming Mitch in the kitchen, being like, I've got a new camera.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, come on. And like joking about how it was like, you know, one of those like found footage clips before we die. It's like,
You put it night vision. I was pretending Frank was like eating my neck and shit.
we're like, oh, I can't wait to go to the cabin this weekend. To think there's going to be no reception at all. It's just going to be you and me. And
Look, there's a
nothing
gas
else.
station on the way.
Hex Betroth.
Do you want to play a game?
All right, Jigsaw. What do you mean? what kind of game are we
wanna
talking
play a
about here?
game? Hex Betroth Curse.
Oh,
It's a little wizardy take on
do
Mary.
I ever?
Do I ever?
Okay, so Hex Betroth Curse is a play on F word, marry and kill, because we've never sworn in this
we never
podcast
swore.
before. So it's a play on fuck, marry, kill, except it's hex, which is like
Like a love potion.
Yeah. So like fuck, if you will. Betroth is marry, and curse is kill.
Or is curse like torture? Do we
Oh
change it?
God, I feel like that's worse.
Crucio. Yeah, probably just curse.
Yeah.
Kill.
Yeah, no, I would have. Yeah.
I mean, but is betrothed like torture? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, brother.
Yeah, women.
Oh yeah. Oh man, L ball and chain.
Welcome back to the Wizard Sigma Tower.
Welcome back to the Alpha Tower.
Anyway, centaur,
Okay.
fawn.
A fawn.
That's like a man goat. So
Oh, okay,
horseman.
I thought you were talking about like, okay, yep.
Is that a fawn? That's like Jimmy or from Narnia.
I thought you were talking about
Timmy.
like
The plant.
like a
Fern.
a deer.
Oh, fawn, yeah. I think it's fawn. Faun.
Sure. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Or merman. Fishman.
God, they're all just as
So it's
bad as
man,
each other.
goat, horseman, and fishman. I could switch it around and say female of all of these, but I don't even know if there probably is a female fawn. I've never seen one.
I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Yeah. We'll just change it to female because we're straight males.
No, let's keep it man.
Okay.
Now let me think. Okay, I've thought about this before. Would I marry a horseman?
I would.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
The answer is okay. So my logic, I think I would betroth the centaur.
Yeah.
Because you could like ride him. That'd be fucking sick. You know, free
Yeah,
transport.
true. Yeah.
I feel like
Would they like you to put a saddle on them?
it might be like
Do you have to go horseback?
it might be decentaurizing if you put a
Decentaurizing if you put a
if you
saddle on
put a
them. I think
saddle
so
on
as
them.
well.
There's probably like a history of fucking slavery or something
And
like
then
that
putting
that the
saddles
centaurs have that they would be quite offended by.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But you know, you're married, you know, so maybe he'd be all good with it.
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
that's like a thing that they do.
Oh,
when
that's like
you're
a
close
wedding
enough.
ring. Maybe it's like a wedding ring type deal.
Let you ride me.
Yeah. Saddle up.
Yes.
Will you
can ride
saddle on
me.
this man?
And then I'll ride you. No thanks. No, I'll just ride. Let's just ride.
Let's do it horse style.
So I'd probably betroth him. And then what are the other two options? The fawn and the merman. There's just not any right answer.
I would kill the merman.
You'd kill the
Yeah,
merman?
curse the merman. I don't like fish. I don't like the smell of fish. I'm not a fish guy.
All
That's the only distinction I can make.
But what if he was
between-
like really cool looking and he had like a sick beard and he was like a Poseidon
Whoa.
like trident and stuff?
I don't really like the ocean. What's the logistics of that? We live on two different planes.
Yeah, true. It's quite scary too.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's like
Still scary.
once every 10 years he can step foot on land.
Nah, merman. Nah, not doing it.
Yeah.
Curse the merman. Nothing personal. I just don't like fish.
Yeah.
I'm just not, you know.
And then Hex the fawn?
Fuck, I didn't think of that. But Hex the fawn.
That's
I
kinda
guess
weird.
so.
Oh, I guess none of them are normal.
No. Yeah, I don't think hexing.
That's weird,
I
bro.
love how we're both like,
You'd
yeah,
be like-
betrothed though. Betrothed that horse.
Betrothed the
man.
horse. Nah, bro. He's a sweetheart. Tough exterior, soft interior.
I think,
you know?
yeah.
IKEA knows all about the soft interior of
I feel like the
centaurs with
horseman's gonna be the most protective as well for some reason. You know what I mean? The most skilled.
Do you remember that IKEA thing that happened a few years ago?
With a horseman? What?
Yeah, their meatballs, their famous IKEA meatballs were made of horse meat.
Horse?
Yeah. We used to eat there all the time. And then that
my
scandal came out.
God. Is that legit?
Yeah.
That is filthy.
That's what I'm saying. IKEA knows all about the soft interior of centaurs.
Jesus. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, long time ago at this point. But
So
yeah,
they made their glue and then they had they needed
for the IKEA
for the
furniture.
IKEA furniture. Then they're like, fuck, might as well make some meatballs.
There's all this waste right
Damn.
here. Yeah.
Shelob, Aragog. Shelob from Lord of the Rings, the giant spider.
Yep.
Aragog from Harry Potter, Hagrid's friend
Yeah.
of Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Charlotte's Web, the little spider from Charlotte's Web.
That's a spider. That's a tiny spider.
It's not even a mythical spider. I can think of what's another mythical spider
Oh, I don't think
on
they're.
the scale of
I don't think there
Aragog
really
and
is
Shelob.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. Okay, I think I would betroth Charlotte from Charlotte's
Yep.
Web
Correct answer.
because
Nice.
you know she dies in the book after like a month or something. doesn't
Spiders
she?
don't live very long in general. Unless you're
And then I'd be
Shelob or
able to,
Aragog.
because we were betrothed, I'd be able to take her house,
The farm.
the web.
Oh, the
I'd be able to take Charlotte's Web,
oh, true.
move into it for myself.
Damn, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, are we spiders in this scenario? I don't
No,
think so. We're
just
us.
humans, wizards,
Wizards.
if you will. That was close. I'd probably do that, and then it's really a toss-up between, Aragog and Shelob. I think I'd have to curse Shelob
Yeah.
because she's just so evil and
Horrible
disgusting.
looking. At least with Aragog, got a family man,
Yeah, family woman.
family woman.
Yeah. Well, she just cares about her kids, you know?
Yeah.
And
Friend of Hagrid's. I might be an in with Hagrid.
Yeah, that's true. You know that spider you had in school that got you kicked out of school?
I'm fucking
Yeah.
it. You want to hang out?
Me and her have
Wanna
been
come over for some
having
dinner?
a crazy time. It's been a pretty crazy fling. I don't know if I see a future with her, but
A lot of kids.
Lots of kids. She's a family woman. She
of
keeps going on about wanting kids.
Yeah. She is scary. No, she is terrifying.
Yeah. That's not the only forbidden thing about the Forbidden Forest. I think I would have to hex Aragog and curse Shelob. You know, Shelob's got that weird little spike pincer too, which I'm just not a big fan of.
Yeah, that's scary.
She's also just fucking terrifying.
Shelob's on the
And
same.
scared of light.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be dark. She'd never want the lights on.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
Doesn't want the lights on.
Come on, Shelob.
Just
Come
turn the
on. I
lights
know
on.
you're insecure, but come on. I like you just as you are. Come on, you're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Okay, turn the lights. Oh, holy shit, you're a spider?
So what the hell?
I didn't know that. Why didn't you fucking warn me?
I should have cursed you.
Oh my God. When were you going to tell me? After the second kid. Oh my God. What the hell?
Saruman, Jafar.
Oh my God, you got another one.
Snape.
Okay. Saruman, Jafar, or Snape?
3 evil wizards.
I think I would have to.
Is Jafar a wizard?
Yeah, bro.
You reckon Jafar's
He's a
wizard?
sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Yeah. I think I would hex Jafar. He seems like a suave, charismatic individual. Probably not someone I would want to marry because
He would fucking gaslight the fuck out of
he
you.
would just
With
be
his
so
snake
evil.
stick. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
Be like, do the dishes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of fucked that he would have that little staff.
Yeah.
But I would hex him.
He'd probably hex you.
Yeah, true. He'd get me before I got him. We'd have a hex off. Look at my stuff. No, look at my stuff. No, look into my eye. Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes.
So hex Jafar.
Yeah, I would probably hex him. I'd probably betroth Snape.
Yeah, I think so
He
as
seems
well.
like a bit of a sweetheart. So
Yeah.
even
Bit
though
of a
he's annoying as
romantic.
fuck and super depressed, and you'd never be able to replace Lily.
You
It
wanna
would
hope-
actually be kind of a miserable marriage. It'd be like a sham.
And he'd be always off double agenting for. He's a big fan of Dumbledore. He'd question Dumbledore and his relationship a
He's
little
very
bit.
untrustworthy, isn't he? Yeah, I still would though. I feel like it'd be a marriage worth the turbulence.
Better than Saruman. But then Saruman before everything goes down.
Oh well, yeah.
But I don't know. Nah, Saruman now. I mean, he's dead.
Yeah, fuck.
Like,
but
well,
either way, he was always after power. I
he
don't know. I
was,
wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I think
I
evil.
think I'd curse him.
Yeah, that's good.
You'd be making out with Snape, and he'd be like, "Oh, Lily," and you'd be like, "What did you say? We've been over this. We've been over this. That's not right.
I'm not wearing.
I'm your wife.
I'm not wearing these bloody Lily contacts anymore. Oh, your eyes.
Drink this polyjuice potion." No, I'm not drinking the polyjuice potion again, Snape. No, you married me. You didn't marry Lily.
Just one sip.
My biggest fear is Lily just being like super naked and just like making out with me. That'd be so scary.
Stop looking
Now
at
open
the bucket. Get away from that bucket.
Yeah. Oh man, I went to a party once where everyone was doing nangs.
Yeah.
And it scared me.
It is scary.
It actually scared me. There was like 9 or 10 people and they were like, "Do you want to do one?" And I was like, "No, not really." Like I wasn't even drinking. I was like driving home. I was like, "No, thanks." And they're like, "Oh, that's all right. That's all right. You can just watch us." And they all sit in a circle, 9 or 10 of them, and they all pump up these balloons with whatever it is, like
Noxide or whatever the fuck it is.
yeah, nitrous oxide.
Nitrous oxide.
Is that it?
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's whatever you use. It's whatever whipped cream. Nice. And
They put NOS in. Yeah. Vin Diesel.
Slow motion goes down their throat, like showing the mechanics of it all.
Someone does it first and he goes, "Too soon." And then he does it. Yeah, these fucking 9 or 10 people sit down in this circle with these balloons and they all start huffing them, breathing in and out of these balloons. And then you just see all of them just like collapse.
Yeah,
like
full
basically
go,
like
like-
have a seizure,
yeah,
like their
it's
eyes
fucked.
go cross-eyed or
Roll.
close. And then they
arms
fucking
go up.
all collapse. 9 or 10, I thought I was like sitting in the middle of a cult.
Yeah, it
or
looked-
something.
yeah, it's
like they
fucking
all drank the
scary.
Kool-Aid. Like,
legit.
yeah, trust me, this is sick. No, trust me.
Yeah.
And then they all
And they
pass
come back
out.
there, that was unreal. And you're like, was it?
Yeah. They all pass out, then they all come back and like, whoa, that was sick. I was like, Jesus Christ,
did
that
not
looks
look good.
horrible.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know, if they, you know, everyone's like, "Oh, drugs are bad. They kill brain cells." That is one
drug,
where you
yeah.
look at and you go, "That is bad." There's nothing that can be good about that.
Imagine if you like took a puff of the like a joint or whatever, you smoke a bong and you just like for like 5 seconds you just fully and you're like, yeah, bro, fuck.
Yeah, oh, that was actually
imagine if
sick.
every drug just like shut your system down for like 5 seconds.
All right, no, I feel like no one
No
would
one
do
would
them. You know. There's nothing cool. Imagine in movies, they're trying to make drugs look cool in
cool,
movies,
yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah,
This is sick.
anyway."
Whoa, that was sick.
That was so awesome. I had a seizure for like 5 seconds.
Everyone looks like fucking the second time he shoots up heroin in Train Spotting when he's like standing there, he's like leaning back on him, like falling asleep, standing up. That's what everyone looks like when they do nags.
Yeah, it was just a really horrible experience.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Do you want to do one?" I was like, no. That's actually like
I agree.
terrified me. Like
Yeah.
that I'm never going anywhere near Nangs. Like that is horrific.
Yeah, I agree. I've watched like 2 of my mates do them and I was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
The same thing. They just like fully like zone out. They like, look like they're having a seizure and then they come back and like, oh, that was unreal. And I'm like, yeah, nah. I don't give a fuck how well that, you know, how good that looks.
Yeah.
That looked fucked.
Can you speak up?
What?
So can you speak up?
Am I really quiet?
No, you're just putting on that like weird morning croaky voice.
Oh, really? Sorry.
You're just doing one of those.
I'm doing one of those
You're like,
ones.
yeah, that was fucked.
I was wondering why you're looking at me so weird.
I was like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
I was just telling you a depth story about how fucking cool that looked. Man.
Yeah,
Damn. All right, I didn't realize I was wondering why you're looking at me like I wasn't making any sense. I was
Every
like, fuck.
podcast, we're like, the first half of the podcast we watched, we're like, oh, this is good. And then towards the end, both of us are like, and
this is
then,
really nice.
you know, it reminds me of this one time.
Let me whisper
saw my
in your
friends
ears.
do nangs. And
True.
traumatized me for life.
I think it's my setting. I get like very low, and I'm like, yeah, man.
You just did a nang between, between
notice, but I just did
lines
that.
there. That's funny.
So dumb.
Oh, I tell you what, I got something that really pissed me off the other week.
Fuck
A
yeah.
little bit of wrath went through me the other day. I was like, pissed up. I was pissed up. So about 6 months ago, I don't know if I mentioned this
Still
on the
pissed off.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast. This is the backstory for it. 6 months ago, I hire a guy to do the lawn mowing.
Oh, yes.
At our house.
Yes. A lawnmower.
A lawn mowing man. A
Lawnmower operator.
Yeah, and he's friendly guy, seems all right, super nice, and he's done a pretty shit job the last like 2 times he's done it, but the third time, you know, I'll give him one more chance. Anyway, I go out back once he finishes the job, sends me the invoice. I'm like, yep, cool. I go out the back. This fucking guy has driven his mower over my succulent in the backyard, destroyed it, like actually turned it into mulch, destroyed the whole fucking garden that I had going on there, destroyed everything, and did a shit job of the mowing everything. Didn't clean anything up.
For the grass trimmings all over the like little bit of decking we have out the back. Kind of thing.
And moved all the chairs from like the table and didn't put them back. And then also tracked like his lawnmower wheels obviously had grass on them, and there's just like lawnmower grass tracks all throughout that patio bit. I was fucking pissed off at that for
fair
one.
enough.
And he had the audacity to call me like 7 times in the future, be like, "Hey Jackson, well, how's the bloody lawn going? You need another mower?" And I'm like, "No,
that
fuck
succulent
off."
would have grown back by now.
Yeah,
Probably
come
wouldn't have
on,
trimmed.
mate. And so I never hired him again. He keeps calling me, and I keep forgetting to like block his number,
him to
and it just
fuck
comes
off.
up as just like a regular 04 number, and I'm like, I answer, I'm like, "Hello." He's like, "G'day, Jackson." I'm like, "Oh, fuck. Hey, bro." He's like, "How's the lawn looking?" I'm like, "It just hasn't grown."
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
crazy.
man. The grass just like, it's the same length it was when you cut it. Maybe because you fucking scalped my whole lawn and made it all die. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy some seeds, and this is a good opportunity to rip up the garden and just replant everything. So I do that. I sow some seeds, some beautiful flowers. I chose like purple and pink flowers. I was like, dude, this is going to look sick in 6 months. So I plant all these seeds. 6 months go by. There's a lot of greenery going on here. There's a lot of green stuff in this garden.
Which I was like, fuck yeah. I was thinking this is going to look sick once these start blossoming.
Yeah.
Once these blossoms bloom.
yeah.
That'd be good.
I was excited. I was like, once spring comes around, these bad boys are going to flower. They hadn't yet, but I was like, they will flower.
Took a while.
And then I start looking at them, and I'm like, hang on a second. These should have flowered by now. I mean, fuck me. It's like 6 months.
It's been a minute.
So I get out the old Google Looker thing where you like take a photo and then it Google searches the plant.
Google Looker.
Yeah, the Google Looker.
Damn, I think they should rename that. But
Yeah. So I like pull out my tome and I'm scouring the pages looking for similar plants. And I'm not even kidding when I
Gillyweed.
say every single plant in that garden was a weed. It was like, I look at one and it's like, this is gillyweed. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I'm like, all right, maybe this other one is. Maybe that's just like one of the weeds, but then maybe this next one is. Because they looked so different. I was like, maybe this one is. And then I take a photo of it, search it up. I was like, horseweed, a noxious weed from Southeast Asia. And I'm like,
it's like the
fuck!
It's like the Pokédex. Horseweed, the strongest type of weed.
Yeah, literally, they were all like, yeah, no, this is fucked. And so there was like 6 or 7 different types of weeds that had just grown in the garden. And it was so hard. I remember at the time growing these plants, it was so hard to differentiate between the sproutlings of the seeds I planted and possible weeds that were growing up.
True.
And yeah, the whole garden for 6 months I've been watering weeds and I didn't even realize.
Damn.
and now I had to rip them all up, and we ended up buying like 3 actual flowers like in pots and planted actual flowers this time. So
They
at
look
least
alright too.
I got a head start, and I know which ones
So
are
how
the
does
flowers.
that happen if you've planted these seeds and they just become weeds? Like, is that a?
I think they were just, you know,
You're a herbalist.
well, I didn't
studied
clearly
herbal.
didn't study hard enough. I didn't read the tomes hard enough. But I think once like a few weeds move in, then they just kill the flowers before they even bloom, and then they take over.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't realize that. So I was wondering why when the landlord came over last time, he looked at that garden.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm planting shit. Yeah. But I think he was looking at it being like, why is there just like
so
100 weeds in this flower garden? But now we got really cool we got cool flowers. We got like daisies, some like pink flowers, and then some other ones, some like yellow and brown ones that look sick.
It does look good out there. Hopefully it just fills that whole area and it'll look really nice.
I hope so. I think they'll grow a bit bigger.
One of my mates is becoming a beekeeper.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing a course on beekeeping. He's gonna have a heap of bees out of his backyard and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
One of my, you know, the guy that we called the other week about the bees. He has bees.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got Australian native bees.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because they don't have like a stinger or anything.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australian...
He has to like set up out in his backyard. He has to like set up like a funnel so the bees don't like go into the neighbor's backyard, so they just fly up.
Oh, really?
And come back in. He's got like he was telling me all about it. He's really passionate about it. It's really cool.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'm excited to have some of his honey. I just want to go out there and see the setup. He has to get like, he said he's going to get like a bee suit because he's living with his mum. So he has to get like a bee suit for him, bee suit for her. Yeah. And then he's going to have to get like a third one if people want to come out and see.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What kind of bees is he keeping?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
True.
He gets like a bee starter kit and then he gets like a queen and then he gets like a heap of eggs and then they just slowly and it just builds up.
Damn, that's awesome.
He's going to try and get like 500 to 1,000.
That's really cool.
In like a little bee thing. And I'm like, what are you going to do with all this honey? He's like, oh, I'm going to sell it. He's like real keen about it.
That's I
want some of
really
his
cool.
honey. It'd be sick.
Depending on like what they pollinate changes the flavor of the honey too.
That's
so
cool.
I was doing like this like videography job at this preschool and they had a bee hive there and they let us taste some of the honey.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking really cool.
Yeah.
They had like a mandarin like tree or something in there. Yeah. And because obviously the bees had gone over there, the honey kind of tasted like mandarin. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So
my mate's just going to plant a heap of flowers in his garden. Hopefully this like goes off.
Yeah.
And then he said like next door they've got like netting over their garden so that the bees won't be able to get in there, which is like good and bad. He's like, oh, if they wanted the bees to go in there, that's great. They can probably just take the netting down. But he's like happy that it's up there so it doesn't piss him off. Yeah. But like, it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Beekeeping would be cool. The beekeeper. Just like Jason Statham.
The beekeeper. I'm the beekeeper. I'm the fucking bee man.
But
yeah, that is really cool. Yeah, cool. I always wanted to start an ant farm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really that's like my favorite insect. If you were to have a favorite insect, I feel like not a lot of people have favorite insects.
I couldn't give you one.
Oh, mine's the mosquito. I just love the way they buzz around and just fucking piss you off all day.
Yeah, fuck, marry, kill.
Mosquito, fly, or a wasp.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any fucking favorite insect.
Ants, man.
Ants might be it.
Dude, you know, there's this ant called a leaf cutter ant that like, oh, go on, you explain it then. Oh, if you know all about it.
Dude in the Amazon, I've seen, I think we're talking about the same video maybe. Dude in the Amazon is like sitting there in bed and he's like, it's just one of those nights, man. And he looks up and these leaf cutter ants have like cut holes out of his tent and like just taken all these bits of his tent. He's like, it's fucked up, man. There's just all these bugs in his tent when he's trying to sleep.
So ants are like one of the most intelligent insects, just so misunderstood insects in the entire world.
Are they like a hive mind?
No. I mean, they have a queen that they all kind of like serve and do stuff for. But like leafcutter ants actually use like tools, you know? So the way that they construct their hives, their, you know, like their little fucking nests is they like use their pincers and they cut out like big chunks of leaves or whatever. And then they will literally like, some of the worker ants will like grab two leaves together and then like pull them together and hold it there. So like one ant will hold these two leaves together and another one will come over with one of their larvae, and they'll hold the larvae in their mouth like a little welder.
Yeah.
And the larvae produce glue that glues the
is
leaves together.
Unbelievable.
And so they use their babies as a tool to like construct their nest. So they
that
like
is so cool.
it's fucking insane. And they like ants literally have graveyards. When one of their ants dies, they take the body back and they have like a mass pile of ant bodies and they'll put that ant in there. A scientist did an experiment where he got the pheromone that is released when ants die and he dripped it on an alive ant.
Yeah.
And the ant thought it was dead.
Grabbed it.
And all of the other ants came around and grabbed it while it was still alive and it was just frozen, and then put it in the graveyard. And the ant just stood there because it thought it was dead. And then eventually the pheromone washed off and it just kind of like woke
And he's
up
like, oh shit.
and then went back to the nest.
That is
Yeah.
unreal.
They have like trash, you know, like they've got like graveyards and then they've got like a trash dump. And it's like one ant's job every morning to come out of the nest and bring the trash up and put it in the dump.
He's a fucking
so-
garbage man.
Yeah, so they'll be like, they'll
Bins
grab like
out.
the fucking carcass of the cockroach that they drag
That's
down there and they
so
like put it in the
funny.
bin.
That's so funny.
Dude, they're so smart.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's like
Bins
an
out. It's
there's an-
Monday. Get your cockroach carcasses. Line them out the lawn. The garbage man comes around and picks them all up.
There's
That's
like
good ass.
there's like an ant that has, because there's so many different species as well, but there's a type of ant that every single ant in the colony has the DNA to transform into a queen. And so
I think I've heard of this one.
there are like coups that are, you know, coordinated in these nests sometimes. Like one of the ants will be like, no, fuck this, I want to be the queen. And they end up gathering a little resistance and they go and kill the queen's guard, kill the
mutiny.
queen, and then she becomes the queen.
Oh my God.
The new queen and stuff. It's fucking crazy. The
goddamn
ant world
mutiny.
is just as complicated as the human world. They are like little humans.
They
It's
didn't
fucking
touch
wild.
on any of this in ants.
Dude, I know.
They
I
could
know.
have missed opportunity.
It is crazy just like how advanced they
Yeah.
are.
That's cool.
It's very much just like little human societies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that there's a garbage man ant. That's fucking hilarious.
That would not be my job.
King.
I'd probably look after the larvae, to be fair. I think the men
The welders would be pretty sick.
yeah. I think the male ants look after the larvae and like men tend to the queen, and then the females are all the ones that explore around and grab all the food.
Yeah, right.
Dude, they're sick. Ants are sick.
Bees do some cool stuff as well.
No, not like
saying-
ants, bro.
not,
Not like
not
ants.
to like compare them, but like one bee will like, I think there's like a group of bees, but they all fly off in different directions.
Yeah.
Find out where the best like pollen flowers are and stuff. Fly back and then do like a little dance in front of all the bees.
Yeah.
That perfectly describes what direction you have to fly into. Take a left by
Damn,
this
that's
tree.
actually fucking sick.
If you
Yeah,
hit-
that's
if you hit
really
Paris,
cool.
you've gone too far. Come back. You know what I mean? In this little dance they do.
That's cool.
And then they all fly off and go to the thing.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Ants Canada.
Is
This
that
YouTube
the
channel?
dude in the dome? In the
Yeah,
thing?
and he talks like this.
Yeah, he's sick. Yeah.
Ants Canada.
Yeah.
Today we're looking at the Fire Nation.
He's like Connor.
Yeah, he does. He sounds like Connor. And like, it's so cool. You can do it with certain ants, like honey ants and stuff, where you can actually see what they eat. So if you get jelly or whatever, and you dye it blue, and they all eat the jelly, they all turn blue. You can
That
like see
is
inside
so
them.
Cool.
There's heaps of man. Ants are
some ants,
fucking
dude.
sick, bro.
Get some
Ants have like
ants.
wars as
Whoa.
well. If they see a rivaling nation of ants,
Yeah,
they'll
that's-
fucking have like full on.
I watched that
wars.
Ants Canada video when they had a huge war.
Yeah, it's actually sick.
Yeah,
It is really, really cool.
that is cool.
Yeah, ants are pretty sweet.
Fucking
I
ants,
could go
man.
on about ants for a long time. I love ants.
Ants in your pants, mate.
Oh, what can I say? Well, I got
What
ants
was
in my.
If I was to hex anything, it'd be ants.
Let me tell you,
Love some ants in my
betrothed the
pants.
ant queen. Let me tell you right now.
Tales of Yonder.
I've been exposed to a lot of harmful chemicals over the years working as an electrician.
All right.
I've been exposed to
Nangs.
asbestos. Nangs?
Thanks.
Yeah. I've been exposed to like asbestos before,
Yeah.
like multiple times, which is not good. I've been exposed to fluoride, like harmful levels of fluoride. Because
That's a nasty smell.
it's weird, man. It's like a powder as well. It's like this thin powder that you don't even need to breathe it in. If it sits on your skin, it absorbs through your skin. And fluoride's like dangerous in like high levels. like that concentrated kind of dust.
Yeah, yeah.
Exposed to fluoride, ammonia.
I'm thinking of ammonia. When you were saying fluoride, I was like,
Yeah, no, fluoride and-
ammonia has a crazy smell.
Yeah, because I used to work in the fluoride. We did this like job in the fluoride room, like rewiring all like the control wires and stuff. We were working there for like a month of the SEQ water, and it was so funny. Oh, I was gonna say there's more things I've been exposed to. Like I got exposed to jet fumes when I was working at the airbase.
Whoa.
I'll tell both those stories. They're not too long. Okay. The first one, we were rewiring all of these, taking down all the old lights at the airbase and putting up LED lights. And we had the contract for the whole base. So we went everywhere. Every single hangar we
really
did.
cool.
There was one hangar, we were 27 or 28 meters in the air. And there was, under us was like one of their giant like 747 type planes.
Whoa.
And we're like trying to replace these lights and we're like, oh fuck, like what if we drop a screw, and it hits the fucking plane?
Yeah.
And their answer to that was just don't drop a screw. And so we're out up in the air and there's like netting that you have to like cut open to like get up to get to the lights as well. Anyway, there's all this stuff was going on, but we're working outside at this point, and this is where
Did someone drop a screw?
we dropped a couple of screws, but they didn't hit the plane, luckily.
Good.
We were doing the outside, and there was like all these F-16. I think that's what they were, the new Hornets and stuff like that, the jets, and they were all housed outside on this like big shed type thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm in like a scissor lift and I'm going through and I'm taking the lights down. We have to wear like 2 layers of hearing protection as well because the jets are so loud.
Fuck yeah.
And so I'm out there and I'm like taking these lights down, and I like get my scissor lift and I go up to this one light and I'm starting to take it down, and all of a sudden I start like blinking and my eyes are really stinging and hurting. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, why are my eyes hurting so much? And then I start to get really lightheaded and I'm like, oh, like, what the fuck? And then I look down and I look over, and at the hangar right next to me, there's a jet that they've just turned on, and the fucking jet engines are blasting directly at me. And I'm just getting this jet fumes directly at me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like nearly about to pass out, and I have to like take my scissor lift down, get out of the fucking scissor lift and walk off because I was directly in line of this fucking jet that they just turned on. No one had like paid any attention. They're just like, yeah, anyway,
let's go.
turn that jet on, let's go.
Damn.
Yeah. And I just got these jet fumes just blasted at me. I had this massive fucking headache for ages after it too.
You'd have no oxygen. It would have all just been fume.
Yeah, it was like doing a nang.
Yeah. Best nang of your life.
Yeah. And then this second story, this SEQ water story, fucking hell. If I end up dying of ass cancer in like 30 years, it's SEQ water's fault, straight up. We're working in this fluoride room for like a month, and they tell you at the start, like, high levels of exposure, really bad for you. So we had to like suit up and wear masks and stuff like that and gloves and all this stuff. And so we get in these full body suits. We're working in there for like a month. And all of us start to develop like a sore throat and kind of like a bit of like a stuffed nose type thing. And we're all like a bit fatigued. And it turns out that those are like the kind of like the symptoms of like a short-term exposure to like high levels of fluoride. And probably the last week of us being there, we have one of the SEQ Waters guys come up to us and he's like, oh, so you guys are finishing up soon? And we're like, yeah, we are. And he's like, oh, did you guys end up doing baseline piss test? And we were like, what? And he's like, oh, they forget to do this all the time. Oh yeah, you're supposed to do a urine test to measure your fluoride levels before you start working in the room, because if they're really high after it, there's a lot of side effects that can happen later in life. He's like, the short-term side effects are like, a sore throat, bit fatigued, like kind of blocked nose. But the long-term effects is colon cancer. And we were like, what? He's like, oh yeah, no, they forget to measure it all the time so that if that happens, then, you can't sue them.
What do you mean? They should be able to sue them even more for forgetting to do it.
Yeah. So there's no way to prove that we didn't have high levels of fluoride before working in the fluoride room. Obviously, that would be fucking higher after working. It's crazy. Crazy to think about. We found that
Holy
out
fuck.
literally like last week of working in that room. And they were like,
What are you doing?
yeah, sorry. We forgot to measure your bloody piss. Whoops. Anyway,
Jesus, that's
you guys leaving next
fucked
week? And we're like,
bad.
yeah. If I get colon cancer,
It's because of that.
you know why?
Would you sue?
I don't know how I would prove it.
Yeah.
Other than this podcast as a testimony. I've never told that story in public. Yeah,
that's so fucking dangerous.
How fucked is that? Oh, they forget to do that all the time. He was just like, classic. Like
If
that's
if you're wearing
SQ4,
like full suits and stuff, it's just inevitable.
Yeah, because it seeps in through your skin, and like there's a thin layer of this white dust through the whole room. So this massive room.
Where's this coming from? Why is it like that?
Because
Why do
there's
they
like
use
giant
this?
bags of fluoride in that room, and so and
What
that's
are
where
what's
they
fluoride used for?
they
I don't
put it in the
actually know.
water because it's like in super low doses, like good for your teeth. So it keeps your teeth a lot like cleaner and more hygienic. They put a lot of shit in the water.
In the water.
That's just good for you. You know, like
seems
too
like-
many minerals in the water is bad for your teeth. Too few's not good enough.
Yeah,
like
okay.
they get it all balanced. And
Alex
fluoride
Jones
is,
would be skitzing. Isn't that the whole thing about fluoride in the water? Isn't that the whole fucking
makes the frogs gay.
makes the frogs
Yeah.
gay? Yeah,
Well, that's the
right.
thing. Like,
Apparently it does though. Apparently not makes them gay. He didn't mean that. He meant it changes their sex.
true.
The fluoride in the water around this like place
Yeah.
wasn't making the frogs gay. He was just being very erratic. But apparently it was changing their like sexual organs and making
That's
women
hilarious.
frogs into man frogs. And man
Oh my
frogs into-
God.
yeah. That's what he was. That's it's when he said they're making the frogs gay. He wasn't 100% wrong, but he
I didn't know
wasn't
you were
right.
an Alex Jones sympathist.
It was Joe Rogan talking about it, I think so.
That's funny as. But yeah, it's crazy. So like, yeah, obviously like fluoride super bad in like super concentrated doses like that, but they're putting this in like mega
Millions,
liters of
yeah,
water, like massive amounts of water. So like the contents of fluoride's like
Fuck
3/5 of fuck
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
basically. But when you're working in the room where the fucking concentrated
Yeah,
power that's
yeah.
like 100 million times more concentrated than what you're drinking.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. So anyway,
Man.
that's one of the many chemicals I've been
Yeah.
exposed to that'll probably kill me at some point.
My God.
Yeah. I found out in like my 4th year, all those studies came out where they're like, oh, silicosis, the leading killer of people under the age of fucking 30 in the construction industry.
Fuck. What's that from silicon?
Silica dust. So like if you're cutting cement, mixing concrete,
Yeah.
anything like that, you breathe in the silica and it kills you.
Yeah.
It's like worse than asbestos, they say. Yeah.
Pesky asbestos could have been perfect.
Yeah.
Just didn't kill us.
Damn it. I
Hate
mean,
that.
what did you think was going to happen when they're like, brother, this thing is indestructible.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's fireproof. We can't destroy it. You know, we try and crush it up, turns into fibers, man. It's just, this shit is the best. We could build everything out harder than concrete.
Sounds when it's too good to be true.
Oh, except it's the fibers are just the right length to get caught in our respiratory system and kill us
Kill us from the inside out.
horrifically.
So close.
Almost. Bugger.
Surely we could like get rid of that somehow.
Well, some people just don't get it because they're, you know, like the fibrous walls of
it's
their lungs are just big enough where the asbestos
go
fiber
through.
passes through, or they're just small enough where they get caught and then coughed out.
Interesting.
But then there's blue asbestos that literally has barbs on it. So when it gets breathed in, it
True,
hooks
just
into
go
your
on.
system anyway. And then yeah.
The Academy!
I got something to submit to the Academy.
Okay.
People don't care about pop culture as much as I do, believe it or not.
I would have never guessed.
So I just watched Aliens, not Aliens Romulus. I wanted to show one of my mate. My mate had never seen Alien or Aliens before.
Yep, the OGs.
The OGs, the Ridley Scott and James Cameron directed movies.
Mm.
He has never seen them before, so we watched the first one. Watching that movie with someone who has no concept of what the alien even does, that it has acid blood. He didn't even know it had acid blood, that it lays eggs inside of the person that the facehugger jumps onto. It was amazing watching this
So
movie
like
with him.
absolutely nothing.
No
Knew nothing.
knowledge of the concept of Alien at all. When he said he'd never seen it before, I was like, oh yeah, you've never seen it before. But, you know, I've never, like, let's say he's never seen Star Wars, but you know Luke Skywalker's, you know,
You know about
Darth Vader's son.
lightsabers.
You know about lightsabers. You know the
about
concept of
the
Star Wars.
Force.
He didn't know anything about Alien. Watching this movie with someone who's never seen Alien before was unbelievable. He was in awe. When the face hugger's on it, he's like, what's going on? He's like, what's happening? And then like they cut it and it fucking bleeds and his face was in shock. He was like, what? Oh, that acid blood's going to be a problem. Oh, it's eating through the spaceship. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like he just was realizing how fucking insane this alien was, like this perfect killing machine.
Yeah.
He just could not believe it. And then they're sitting around having the dinner scene and then the alien bursts out of his stomach. Because when the alien face hugger like falls off and dies, it's done its thing. It's laid the eggs. It's over. It's lived its
part
life.
of the life cycle's
like,
gone.
It's dead now. Like, what does that mean? It's dead. Like, what happens now? Like, the movie's called Alien. And we're watching the fucking dinner scene. Boom, bursts out of his chest. What is happening? Like, he was just in absolute shock. And it was so much fun watching it with him. And then the big reveal. Sorry if no one's seen Alien before. Also, you should go watch it.
It came out in like 1979 or something. Like
I don't even feel bad for like spoiling anything.
You should have seen it by now.
But if you haven't seen it, I'm about to say a big spoiler, so probably just go watch it. But there's one person on the cruise ship that is an android, and you don't find out he's an android till the very like end of the movie almost. And that he's like the whole reason this alien is on this ship, basically. It's big reveal. My mate, not knowing that, he didn't know the dude was an android at all throughout the whole movie, of course, but he was freaking out. And then when he hits the android's head off and it reveals that he's an android, he could not believe it. He was in absolute shock. And then we had such a great discussion about that he's an android this whole time. He was like faking being asleep at the start of the movie to wake up with the rest of the humans. He was like revving himself up halfway through to like, you know, he's like faking. He's like, oh, don't take the face hugger off because we need it to lay eggs. But you know what I mean? Like there's so many moments about that movie about him being an android. And he was just in shock. He could not believe how good this movie was. He just thought it was some space horror.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to watch it with him. He's not a big movie guy. And then he's like, oh, we should watch Aliens straight after. So then we watched Aliens straight after that. And he was like, this is completely different. Like, what the hell? He just was, it was awesome. It was an unreal day watching Alien and Aliens with a person who's never seen either of those movies.
It's like you lived vicariously through
It was
him.
great.
Like
It was
you
great.
rewatched it for the first time with him.
It was fantastic.
That's what they say having kids is like.
Yeah.
You're like, I worked with a guy, this like super mega Christian guy who had like fucking 4 or 5 kids. It was crazy. He went into graphic detail about him having sex with his wife. It was really weird.
Real Christian bloke.
Yeah, super Christian. He believed God would protect him from asbestos. And he was like ripping out this asbestos switchboard by hand, covered in it. And he's
Snorting it.
Yeah, and he's like, no, like God will protect me. And I was like, I hope so.
Yeah. For your kids' sake, I hope so.
And he had weird conversations with me about that stuff.
Having sex with his wife, and he's so Christian.
It's a long story, but we were like on the drive home from this like job. It was like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And he's like, you know, a lot of people say, you know, like when your wife has kids, you know, that it just stops. But I'm telling you, with each kid, you know, it's just gotten better. I'm telling we do it all the time, and it's just gotten just better and better over the years. And I'm like,
Christian guy talking that in depth about having sex is crazy.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's good for you, man. But
they're normally quite conservative.
I don't remember asking.
Yeah.
But okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that. That's kind of weird. But he was explaining one of his kids. He's like, it's like having your childhood all over again because he was like, he went to like an oval and his kid's like, whoa, look how big this oval is. Like, wow, look at this place is massive. And to him, he's like,
it's an oval.
It's just like, it's an oval. But to this kid, he's probably never seen something this big before.
Yeah. So my 26-year-old mate is equal to a child.
To a toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
He's never experienced Alien and it's like experiencing it for the first time again.
He was just in shock the entire movie. Yeah, true. Kids, that's a good point. Because kids are seeing things for the first time.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's why the magic goes as you get older because you've seen it before.
Everything.
You've done it all before.
When we ran into that bloke at the house party we went to on the weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really watch movies."
Oh, actually,
like,
crazy.
And we're like, "Oh yeah, you know, some people just don't get into the movie. That's whatever." He goes, "Yeah, I just don't think they're very accessible." I was just like, "Bro, they're like the most accessible thing in the fucking world at the moment."
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Saying?
It's like you've never got a movie recommended to you and you're like, oh, I'm going to check that out. He's like, no,
never.
Because then you it's just too hard. He was comparing it to music and he's like, music's so easy to just like access. And I was like, arguably on the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess music, you could say music a little bit easier to access because, you know, it's mostly on Spotify.
Yeah. One subscription covers it all.
Spot.
What is this guy doing?
I know.
at home.
Just at home listening to music for
And that's
9 hours.
it?
Damn.
Fuck, man, this guy must have some really good serotonin receptors.
Yeah.
Like this guy must, have a good
Some people
attention span.
Was he younger than us? I can't really remember.
Probably like 1 or 2 years
I wonder if
younger.
like people like in like 19, 20, even younger, like 16 to like 18, are they watching that many movies?
I thought you meant 1920.
Oh,
like the year
1920s.
1920. People from the 1920s, like, do they watch movies?
How much younger? He was really old. He was like 124, wasn't he?
Yeah, way younger than us. I'm 843 years old, dude.
But yeah, I don't know. I find that crazy. People just don't like movies.
Yeah, he was like, we were like, you've never like looked up top 100 movies and like watched one from the list? And he's like, no. What?
And yeah, I mean, my mate Tom loves like anime. He loves all these like these big storytelling epics. Like he's reading One Piece at the moment, loving all of that. And then I show him these movies that he's never seen before. And he's like, oh shit, there's like some good storytelling.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
There's like peak storytelling.
I get it because there's some movies that I see that are on like the top 100 list or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not really in the mood to watch that, or I don't want to risk 2 hours of my time for it to be an okay movie. But there is a reason these movies are top 100 or these are like well-renowned as like great movies or why a lot of people like them. There's good reasons for it.
Yeah.
And then people are always shocked when they're like, oh, The Godfather's actually like good.
Yeah, what the hell?
You're like,
yeah.
That's like top ranked movie ever, basically. Yeah.
I love when I recommend a movie and people love it.
Yeah.
Like Godzilla -1, told people to watch that, and every person I've told has been like, great recommendation, dude. It's like my fucking thing.
That's your thing, is recommending
really great movies. Picking the right movie for the right environment.
True.
Is like what I really try and do.
I always recommend like Schindler's List, something.
Everyone's at a party having a good ass time. Oh, we should watch
Schindler's List on.
Oh.
Yeah, put that on.
Have you guys seen this horror?
Put Marley and Me on. Put Marley and Me on. It's so wholesome. It's about this like golden retriever, right? And this like family like raising this dog. Oh man, it's like actually so wholesome. Put Marley and Me on right now. Should we end the pod here? We've been talking for a long time. I could keep talking, but save some more for the next.
It's pretty abrupt, the ending. Last episode, I was listening to it and we're like, ha ha ha. Anyway, see you later.
Anyway, we'll see you later. Thank you all for listening to the Wizard's Tower. It's been a pleasure.
The man can do it all. He can end a podcast.
He can end a podcast. He can start a podcast. He can die of colon cancer in 40 years.
That is doing it all.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for listening. It's time to pick up your stuffs, pick up your hats, and get out of here. Get out of the Wizard's Tower. Mind the troll on the way out. He's still trying to figure out the answer to that rumor.
Guess who's fired?
Yeah.
Is it 7?
Who could it possibly be? I don't know. He's probably still thinking on it. See you next time. Bye-bye.